Hello my beautiful weebs to another video. Today Otaku Sensei will be recommending the top 10 anime with an overpowered main character feared by everyone. If you're new here and happen to enjoy this sort of content, then please don't forget to subscribe as well as turn on notifications because, well, 82% of you haven't subscribed yet. And for the people who are already subbed and like the video before it actually starts, know that we appreciate you. Anyway, let's start the video. We kickstart this list with chrome-shelled Reggios. On an alternate reality Earth overrun with mutated nanomachine beasts called filth monsters, contaminoids in Funimation's translation, humanity is forced to live in large mobile cities called Reggios and learn to use weapons called daite and harnessing the power of K to defend themselves. The truth is that these people are lost in an alternative reality, caught between, struggling as pawns as the founders of this space and those trying to destroy it. Only upon its destruction can everything revert to the real world. However, many generations have passed since the creation of the world, and naturally the citizens who inhabit it fight for their lives. In the academic city of 𝐴ᴏᴜ, Leifon Alsif is hoping to start a new life without military/martial arts, and forget his past. However, his past caught the attention of 𝐒ᴑᴜ, the student council president, and Nina Antalk, a martial arts student and captain of the 17th platoon, who instantly recognizes his abilities and decides he's the perfect candidate to join her group. The series follows Leifon's life in 𝐴ᴜ and occasionally has flashbacks of his life in Glendon as a Heaven's Blade. The story starts like this. The Valiente Kingdom launched hunts to exterminate users of witchcraft. 17 years later, their pursuit is still growing in both size and brutality. Unbeknownst to the citizens, the targets of these witch hunts are the secret protectors of humanity. Known as the Makai Knights and alchemists, they have a strong will to protect people from the horrors, demons who possess souls plagued by sadness and pain. One such Makai Knight is 17-year-old Leon Luis, who inherits the legendary armor of the Golden Knight Garo from his mother. Though he possesses great power, he struggles to overcome the hatred he bears from his mother's death at the hands of the kingdom. His father German, which is his name, known as Zoro the Shadow-Cutting Knight, is still training Leon when he is called to investigate the upsurge of horrors in the kingdom's capital. Although German knows Leon's will is wavering, he decides to bring Leon along to continue his training. In 8th place we have BlazBlue Alter Memory. The story is set in December of 2199, where the streets are full of anticipation for the end of the year and the start of the new one. Amid the celebrations, word spreads that Ragna the Blood Edge, an SS-class rebel with the highest ever bounty on its head, has appeared in the 13th hierarchical city of Kagutsuchi. The apparent aim of Ragna, the Grim Reaper, is the destruction of the system controlling the world. To collect the bounty, a motley array of unrivaled fighters converge on Kagutsuchi. In 7th place, we have 𝐴-RE-0. In Japan, there exists a government agency known as the Supernatural Disaster Countermeasures Division, in short, SDCD, whose duty is to protect the citizens from creatures unseen. They are able to dispatch these monsters swiftly and without alerting the general public. But currently, they face a different challenge, the betrayal of one of their own. After the death of her mother several years ago, Kagura Tsuchimiya has been fostered by the Isayama family and forms a close, sister-like bond with their daughter Yomi. The two become inseparable, and together they work for the SDCD as highly skilled exorcists. However, as the stress and consequences of their sacred duty weigh on them both, the family politics come into play. Kagura and Yomi begin to slowly drift apart. One of them grows earnestly into her role as an exorcist, and the other heads down a dark path from which there may be no redemption. In 6th place, we have Sacred 7. Alma Tendoji lives a lonely and solitary life in a certain port city within the Kanto region. One day he is approached by Aiba Ruri, who asks for his help, for the power of the Sacred 7 which resides within Alma. However, Alma turns her away. In the past, Alma had hurt people with that power. Since that moment, he had forsworn it. But when the peaceful city is attacked by a monster, Alma reluctantly decides to use the Sacred 7. However, his powers go berserk and the situation becomes even more dire. At that moment, Ruri comes to his aid by inserting a sacred stone made using her jewel necklace and transforms him into his true form. In 5th place, we have Valkyrie the Liberator. In the 71st year of the True Era, humans have successfully expanded into space and have started living in independent galactic colonies. The world itself is split between two major nations, the Atlantic Rim United States, ARUS, and the Dorisia Military Pact Federation, or Dorisia, superpowers that wage war against each other on Earth and far into outer space. In this war-torn era, a third faction comprised of Japan and the islands of the Oceanian Republic, JIOR, reside peacefully and prosper economically, maintaining neutrality between themselves and their militant neighbors. Manji is an infamous swordsman in feudal Japan who is known as the 100-Man Killer, as he has killed 100 innocent men. However, there is something far more frightening than his ominous reputation, the fact that he is immortal. This is the handiwork of 800-year-old nun Yao Bikuni, who placed blood wounds capable of healing almost any wound in Manji's body. To atone for his crimes, Manji resolved to kill 1,000 evil men. Yao Bikuni agrees to this proposal, saying that if he succeeds, she will undo his curse of immortality. Soon after this promise, Manji meets Ren Asano, a 16-year-old girl who requests Manji's assistance in killing those who slaughtered her parents. Initially reluctant, Manji refuses Ren's desperate plea. However, owing to her evident lack of strength, Manji changes his mind and agrees to protect Ren for 4 years. With this partnership set in stone, the two embark on a perilous journey of bloodshed, vengeance, and redemption, each to fulfill their own life's cause. In 3rd place, we have Caspar Sin. This anime tells the story of a world where robots subjugated humanity after becoming self-aware. Their leader, Bright King Boss, ruled over the world with an iron fist. But one day, a mysterious girl named Luna was summoned by the people in order to bring the salvation of mankind. Fearing her as a potential threat, Bright King Boss sent 3 of his most powerful cyborg warriors, Caspar, Dio, and Lita, to dispose of Luna. Caspar, the strongest warrior, managed to track down and kill Luna. However, this triggered a cataclysmic event which set into motion the end of the world. Hundreds of years later, the world's atmosphere is filled with poison, and due to the inability of most remaining humans to reproduce, as well as the constant threat posed by the robots, humanity is on the brink of extinction. Robots fare slightly better. Fearing death as much as humans do, the poisonous environment quickly causes their mechanical bodies to rust and corrode, forcing them to regularly replace their damaged parts, if spare parts in good condition can even be found. In this wretched time and place, Caspar, who had disappeared following the assassination of Luna, returns with no memory of who he is or what he had done. Completing every job with ruthless accuracy, Train Hartnett is an infamous assassin with no regard for human life. Donning the moniker Black Cat in the underworld, the elite killer works for the most powerful secret organization known only as Kronos. One gloomy night, our main character Train stumbles upon Saya Minatsuki, an enigmatic bounty hunter, and soon develops an odd friendship with her. Influenced by Saya's positive outlook on life, Train begins to rethink his. Deciding to abandon his role as the Black Cat, he instead opts to head down a virtuous path as an honest bounty hunter. However, the organization Kronos, and particularly 𝐸ⴜ Train's possessive underling, is not impressed by Train's sudden change of heart, and vows to resort to extreme measures in order to bring back the emissary of bad luck. And we finish this list with an OP entry. Beelzebub is at number 1. Ichiyama High is a school populated entirely by delinquents, where non-stop violence and lawlessness are the norm. However, there is one universally acknowledged rule. Don't cross first-year student Tatsumi Oga, Ishiyama's most vicious fighter. One day, Oga is by a riverbed when he encounters a man floating down the river. After being retrieved by Oga, the man splits down the middle to reveal a baby, which crawls onto Oga's back and immediately forms an attachment to him. Though he doesn't know it yet, this baby is named Kaiser de Emperana Beelzebub IV, or Baby Beel, short for the son of the Demon Lord. As if finding the future Lord of the Underworld isn't enough, Oga is also confronted by Hildegard, Beel's demon maid. Together they attempt to raise baby Beel, although surrounded by juvenile delinquents and demonic powers, the two of them may be in for more of a challenge than they can imagine. This video ends here. I want to especially say thank you to all those people who support me through Patreon and channel membership. Also make sure to follow Sensei on social media for update related things. I hope you enjoyed this list as well as got introduced to new shows, and if you did, then leave a like, share with your buddies, and like always, subscribe and turn on notifications. Until next time, try to keep the comments section wholesome.